just wanted to go yee-haw on that thing. Why you gotta do me dirty like that? Welcome to Sunlit Grove. This is a horror visual novel where your homestay goes terribly wrong. But God, does it feel so good! You meet two brothers, Camden and Maverick, and it's obvious that Maverick may have a thing for you. Will you be able to escape this horrifying town, or will you succumb to its ancient terrors? Here are your content warnings. Now please enjoy yourselves. Things in my life have taken a turn for the better, and it finally feels like everything that I've been working my butt off for is finally paying off. Getting a job as a financial manager for a big firm, making way more money than I would have ever thought I could. I thought everything was good, great even, but usually there's a catch to these things. My doctor sighed as he rubbed his temples. Lion, I'm gonna be straightforward with you. Your sleep schedules, stress levels, and overall hyperactive paranoia is dangerously concerning. Have you been taking your anxiety medication and melatonin? Yeah, I have been, Doc. I'm not really sure what I'm doing wrong here. Well, have there been any recent changes in your life? Well, I recently got a new job and my hours have increased. Then that's your problem. You're burning out. When was the last time you took a vacation? I think about 1.5 years ago. You need a vacation, Lion. Take a week off. Turn off your phone and relax. And that's doctor's orders, so don't go trying to find a way out of it. Jeez, he really said that? Yeah, he even wrote me a prescription for 1 to 2 weeks off of work. I'm just not sure if I can. I've been working my butt off to get this opportunity. I can't just take a vacation. A prescription? What a quack! Oh, come on, Lion. Don't be such a stick in the mud. Take some time off. Chillax. Maybe meet some hunks. Ew! You're nuts, Jamie. Why don't you come to Cabo with me? It'll be fun, like old times. Sorry, Jamie. As nice as that sounds, I don't think I can keep up with the amount of partying you do. My energy isn't what it used to be. You're making yourself sound like you're older than you are again. The big 30 is still youthful. You rolled your eyes. Well, suit yourself. If you ever change your mind, tell me so I can nab you an early flight. Ooh, the pool's open. Gotta go. That was the splashing in the background. Ah, my phone! Jamie cut off. You sighed. You knew you had to take a break, but you couldn't help but feel anxious about missing your work for something you thought you didn't really need. Just as you were about to set your phone aside, it buzzed again. Oh, it's Jamie again? Hey, I forgot to tell you about this really cool place called Sunlit Grove. It's a bed and breakfast place near the countryside. I think it would help you relax. Sunlit Grove? The hell is that? Looking up the place on Google, you found nothing. You typed a reply. Jamie, that place does not exist. Jamie sent you a map and a website. It's not popular, so it's hard to find, but I've been there before. It's in a really beautiful place. Trust me, you'll love it. Give it a chance for me, Lion. Okay, I'll check it out. You open up the website, not really sure what you're expecting to see. Sunlit Grove, a relaxation retreat. Enjoy the warm, fresh water lake, vast hiking trails, home-cooked meals, and a quaint town. It sounded relaxing. Kinda. More like boring if you were being honest. Oh, look like there's a festival happening at the place soon. You search around for more information on the website. Celebrate our self-sustaining town's 110th Harvest Festival. Self-sustaining? I guess that's kinda cool. Your thumb hovered over the booking button. It didn't seem like there would be any risk going to a place surrounded by nature, and it's been a while since you've been out of this city. What if the locals there are weird? Haven't really been that out into the country before. It would be so funny if I just ended the playthrough by saying, maybe another day. Wait, I need to save. Maybe another day. You set your phone back down on your bed. Now I'll just have my vacation right here. You plop down on your little spinny chair and turn to your TV. My butt ain't leaving this chair until I've watched all of my new romance drama. Ending 1. You fetched out all week. God damn it. Okay, fine, we'll book a visit. In the spur of the moment, you clicked a booking for next week. For only 4 days, right before they were having a festival. You weren't really much of a celebration person. Oh God, I didn't. You felt your heart jump in your chest. It's okay, Lion. Jamie recommended this place. Besides, if anything seems off, I could just leave. It's not like I'd be losing tons of money anyway. You hopped onto your bed, idly scrolling through the Sunlit Grove website one more time. That house does look cozy, and the hostess seems like a nice old woman. Unsure, you texted Jamie. Hey, do you know anything about the hostess? Jamie read your text immediately. The hostess is a sweetheart. The place has such a warm vibe. You'll love it. Wow, Jamie has never talked about people so highly. Huh. Deep in your gut, you felt something off in Jamie's last message, but you couldn't tell if it was just from overthinking it. Maybe it's not Jamie at all. You've only been texting Jamie. You gave your company notice that you were going to use some of your vacation days, and the weeks leading up to your fateful vacation were filled to the brim with work that you piled on to yourself. In hindsight, it didn't really seem like a good idea to burn yourself out even more than you would have been, but you were going on a week-long trip away from everything, so maybe it was good to get in one last bout of work. God, why did this place have to be so far away? You've been driving non-stop for 3 hours. At some point, the GPS took you down a dirt road that seemed endless. It almost felt like you were going the wrong way, but Jamie texted you that the dirt road leads you all the way there. You've arrived at your destination. As your car rolled to a stop, you rolled your window to look at your surroundings. In front of you stretched a dirt road, bordered by a vast cornfield. Your GPS and map showed that this was indeed the location, but the lack of any visible buildings or a town made you rethink. A sign stuck in the dirt caught your eye. Sunlit Grove, this way through the field. Oh boy, this definitely looks like it came straight out of a horror scene. You parked your car, a bit anxious to get out. You walk through the cornfield, holding your luggage in the air so you do not get dirt on it. You continued for about 10 minutes before you saw a path. Finally a path! Good afternoon. As you let out a sigh of relief, you felt a gentle tap on your shoulder, causing you to let out a shrill scream. Sorry. I'm just terrified of old grannies. Turning around, you came face to face with an older woman. Oh, sorry for startling you. I was waiting for the person who booked the B&B. Is that you? Yeah. I was the one who booked a week's stay here. Your heart raced. She scared the shit out of me. Nice to meet you. You're Iris, right? The hostess? That's right. Then you must be Lion. You both shook heads, and you couldn't help but sneak glances at her right arm, or lack thereof. We're not too far from the house. Would you like some help with your bag? Iris was soft-spoken, with a bit of a southern drawl. Her eyes looked at you with such kindness, make you feel a bit at ease. That's all right, I got it. All right, then. Follow me. You followed Iris deeper and deeper into the cornfield. Was it? No, not here. And she seemed to be just as lost as you were. Is everything okay, Iris? Yes, it's just, golly, was it right or left? Your heart sped up even more. Suddenly, you were very aware of how vast the cornfield was, and how you could see past it to find any sort of house. You heard something in the corn, and you froze. Oh, crap. My legs won't stop shaking. A voice echoed in the cornfield. Ma! You know you're not supposed to wander around without Camden or me. There was a bit more running, then a man just popped out of the corn. He was breathing hard. Oh, my goodness, you got me running all over the place, Ma. Maverick, didn't I tell you to go get the room ready? Dad, I thought we agreed. You'd tell me when you'd be wandering. We did? I don't recall. Yes. Okay, just remember for the next time. Gosh, has my stamina really gone that downhill? Maverick's gaze shifted to you, and you felt a flush creep up your neck. Huh? Now who's this? It's just a guest who'll be staying with us for the next week. That's right. Sorry for not mentioning this sooner, Lion. It slipped my mind. This is my son Maverick. He and my other son are staying at the house for a while to help me. I hope it isn't a bother. You glanced over at Maverick. He stood tall, his height being almost intimidating. His broad shoulders and muscular frame contrasted his friendly face. His hair got caught in the sun, making it light up like the corn in the field. Wow, he looks good. You didn't really see a problem. The house had many rooms according to the website, so you doubt you'd see him often. Oh, yeah, of course. No problem at all. The man grabbed your hand, pulling you closer to shake it. You could feel yourself blush. His face was so close to yours. It's so nice to meet you, Lion. Don't worry about me. I'll be planning for the festival, so I won't be in the way of your vacay. Maverick's voice was so peppy, and his smile was so bright, it felt like he radiated positive energy. Gee, it's so rare we get city folk up in here. Oh, where are my manners? Let me take your bag for you. Before you could protest, Maverick scooped up your bag in his arms, flashing you a warm smile. Oh, thank you. Sorry for the little detour. The cornfield can get a little confusing. Maverick bent down to his mom's level, his voice barely audible. Ma, remember, back home is a right then a left from the road. Iris chuckled softly, shaking her head. Oh, silly me. I mixed up the two. You kept walking on the dirt path, following Maverick and Iris closely. So, Lion, how did you hear about this place? Maverick tilted his head back towards you. I just heard about this place through a friend. She told me that it's beautiful here. Well, she ain't wrong. If you like, I can show you the direction of each of the hiking trails personally. Actually, that would be pretty nice. Thank you. Maverick kept chattering on about the sights in Sunlit Grove, and before you knew it, you were at the bed and breakfast. Here we are. Home sweet home. The warm wind breezes past you as the sun lights up the grass like hay, making it shine like gold. The smell of the outside was so different from the city, and you could already feel your stress wash away, little by little. Whoa, you have such a beautiful home, Iris. Iris smiled and patted Maverick's back. Thank you. We work hard at keeping the land looking its best. Maverick fell silent before he turned to you. I'm gonna go drop off your bags in the room and leave you two alone. If you need anything, just give me a holler. Maverick took your bags inside the house, leaving you alone with Iris outside the house. Well, I guess I should start the tour. So, this is the main house. You can go anywhere you want on the land. However, the cellular is off limits. The barn. Iris pointed to the big red building. There is a lot of dangerous equipment in there, so if you want to see the barn, just be careful. Town is just an 8-minute walk from here. Just take the path from our door all the way into town. Iris handed you a folded-up map. This is for all the pathways. Hills 15 miles? Like I'd ever go to that alone or otherwise. Wait, should I pay attention to this? Wait, give me a moment while I look at this map. Okay, I hope to hell I don't have to actually remember any of this, but it's interesting how both the farm and, like, the cellar are both off limits, so yeah. And that concludes outside. Any questions? You shook your head. Wait, I do have questions. First of all, like, are your sons single? And second of all, why is the cellar off limits? Nah, I'm all good. I have questions! Great. Let me show you inside. Iris motioned you to follow her into the house. This is the kitchen. I'll make you breakfast every morning so you don't have to worry about that. But you're on your own for lunch and dinner. Got it. And when should I be up for breakfast? Whenever is fine, dear. But it's usually done at 7:30, so whenever you want, it'll be down here for you. Iris then led you into the hallway. Your room is the third door on the right. Okay, so this is your room. There's a lock on the door, an outlet, and the bathroom is right out in front. And that concludes our tour. You smiled at Iris. Thank you. I'll be sure to remember everything. Oops, I forgot to tell you. Iris held up a little heater in the room. You need to remember to turn this on every night before bed, or it does get rather cold. And there's a small light that should also be turned on. It's very faint, so don't worry about it messing up your sleep. But the light keeps away the mosquitoes, and they are pesky, so please don't forget to turn it on. You nodded. I don't sleep much anyway, so it's not like the light will make me sleep any worse. Now, this is actually the end of our tour. I'll leave you alone here, let you get settled in. If you need something, I'll be in the room all the way in the back. Maverick is usually in the barn or the cornfield. Okay, thank you again, Iris, for showing me around. It's no trouble at all. Thank you for staying with us. You waved goodbye to Iris as she closed the door to your room, leaving you alone. You laid on the bed. The mattress was pretty soft, feeling almost like it was made out of a cloud. Humming, you looked up at the ceiling. This isn't bad at all. I should probably text Jamie that I got here safe though. Pulling out your phone, you were greeted by the unwelcome display of the no service sign. What? No service? You checked the Wi-Fi, but no servers were even there. Well, guess I couldn't use my phone this trip. At least Jamie knew where I was going to anyway. It's still bright outside. Maybe I should explore a bit. Ooh, corner town. Well, this is my first important choice to make, so I'm just gonna make a save here. Let's go to the corn. You didn't know why you want to go back to the corn, but you felt like you'd seen enough of those endless stalks during your walk here. But the heart wants what it wants, and right now, yours crave those green stalks. Who knows? Maybe I'll even see Maverick again while I'm hiking through the corn. Hopping out of bed, you went outside to go back once again into the corn. Okay. You slowly made your way back into the cornfield. Okay, so hiking trail. Might as well look at some early so I know where to go on the other days. The lake sounds pretty cool, and it's only a 3.5-mile hike. You pulled out your map. Oh god, I forgot my map back at the bed and breakfast. There was only one path to the lake. It shouldn't be that hard to find, right? You were, in fact, wrong. So horribly and terribly wrong. Hours passed, and your confidence dwindled down into nothing as you moved further and further away from the bed and breakfast. You shivered. The only thing you could hear for miles was the sound of corn rustling in the breeze. The flashlight on your phone wasn't enough to light the way for you, and the small fireflies kept bumping into your legs and face, making you feel more on edge. The wind was so cold on your face it made you shiver. I'm gonna die out here, aren't I? You sank to the ground, trembling with fear. Tears pricked at the corners of your eyes as your mind raced with what-ifs. Nothing was right now. You hid your face in your knees. Why the hell did I decide to come here? Your brain started to berate and mock you for your stupidity. You could hear rustling. You hugged your legs tighter and frozen in fear. Infernal desire. May the essence I crave come to me in light of the harvest moon. A voice, eerie and sickeningly sweet, pierced the darkness. You don't know who was there. You didn't want to look up from your knee cocoon, afraid to see something that would further scare you. Huh? Lion? A familiar voice cuts through the wind. You cautiously raised your head. It was Maverick. What are you doing out here on the ground on a night like this? Maverick's voice was laced with concern as he kneeled down to your level, placing his warm lantern near the both of you. Maverick waited for your response silently, but all you could do was slowly move your mouth, unable to even speak. Hey, it's okay. Did you get lost? Maverick's eyes peered into yours, his gaze filled with warmth. You nodded wordlessly, still unable to speak. It can get pretty scary out here in the field, if you don't know your way around. Luckily, you have an expert to lead you back. Maverick gave you a bright smile, clearly trying to lighten the mood, but you still couldn't say anything. Maverick let out a small sigh. Oh man, you're still pretty shaken up, ain't you? We can wait here for a bit until you're ready. Maverick sat down next to you, humming a tune to try and soothe your nerves. Your heart was still racing. You chanted calm down like a mantra in your head. You didn't like the fact that someone was seeing you like this, especially someone you didn't know very well. You know, lad, hanging out with cornstalks can be bad. Maverick leaned closer to your ear and lowered his voice. They're such eavesdroppers, you know? You know what they say. They're all ears. Maverick smiled at you, waiting for a response. Sorry, was the joke confusing? What? Sorry, am I being corny right now? Just trying to make some light out of this conundrum. You stifled a laugh. Okay, that's enough. I thought they were pretty amazing. You gave him an annoyed look. Okay, I'll stop now. How are you feeling? You glanced at your feet. You still feel a bit shaken, but you think you'd be alright. I'm fine now. Maverick stood up and held out his hand to you. You stood close to him as your eyes dotted around the dark cornfield. Maverick picked up his lantern. Have you eaten yet? You shook your head, now noticing how empty your stomach was feeling. Maverick grabbed something out of his left pocket. Here, you should eat this and tide you over before we get back. Oh, thank you, Maverick. You took some sort of granola, maybe fruit leather, out of his hands that was wrapped in parchment. Taking a bite, you realized very quickly that was not fruit leather or granola. Oh, it's a stick of meat. Yeah, usually carry them around when I'm feeling a little peckish. Good, right? I made it myself. You hesitantly took another bite of the jerky, smiling at him. Yeah, it's amazing. He looked around while you both started to walk back. Well, no wonder you were so lost. You were halfway to the hills. He gave Maverick a quizzical look. You can tell from looking at the corn? Well, yeah, lived here my whole life. Maverick pointed to the grass. See that fuzzy, almost broom-like plant? That's pampas grass, which means you're getting closer to the hills. But when you see the longer, thinner grasses, that means you're closer to the lake. Oh, that was actually where I wanted to go. Really? Well, whenever you want to go again, tell me, and I'll guide you there. It'll give me a good excuse to get away from the Harvest Festival work. What exactly is the Harvest Festival? Well, it's a festival every year commemorating the year's harvest. However, this year, it's special. Our festival date happens right when a full moon will come out. We call it the Harvest Moon. It's supposed to mean good fortune for the next harvest, but in reality, all we do is just cook more food. That sounds fun. Too bad I'll be missing it. Maverick stopped in his tracks, his expression turning somber. You're not going to be here? Yeah. I'll be missing it for a few days. You could see Maverick clenching his fist to his side, his expression filled with worry. That's too bad. Oh man, would have really liked to show a new person the festival. Well, I guess there's always next year. Maverick pouted and you chuckled a bit. The festival sounds pretty important to you. Yeah, usually when there's a harvest moon, the town will choose a planner. They just so happen to choose me. Usually the planner is supposed to pick a person as well. But Maverick faked a sniffle. No one has enough time to help me. Well, I'm sure someone will eventually step up to help you out. Well, I sure do hope so. Before the two of you knew it, your conversation was cut short and you finally made it back to the house. Maverick led you to your room, not taking you out of his sight for even a second. You breathed in a sigh. You felt a little tired after today's events. Must be exhausted. Maverick knelt down to the heater, turning the small light and the heat on. Hope you have a good rest of the night, Lon. No more wandering around, okay? Maverick spoke in a hushed, honey-like tone that made your face turn warm. Okay. See you in the morning. Before Maverick shut the door, he switched off the light. You threw on your PJs, popped in some melatonin, and went straight into the bed, snuggling yourself up in the plush covers. It is a little cold in here. It's a good thing Maverick turned on the heater for me. You smiled to yourself, thinking about how sweet of a guy Maverick was. That night, you dreamt of Maverick's strong-looking arms cuddling you closely in the cold, vast cornfield. Well, also when are we gonna meet the brother? The sound of birds through your walls wake you. You stretched your back. I feel so well rested. Must be noon by now. However, the clock on your wall told a different story. 7:15? I guess that's kinda sleeping in. Getting your clothes on for the day, you walked to the kitchen to get your breakfast while it was freshly cooked. Maverick was sitting at the counter, chewing on a banana. Someone else was across from him, newspaper covering his face. Morning, lad. Didn't expect you to be up so early. There's someone who I'd like you to meet. The man placed his newspaper down. This is Camden, a little brother. You're older than me by 5 minutes. And that's 5 minutes on this earth more than you. Camden rolled his eyes. Mine, was it? It's very nice to meet you. I was actually searching for you all day yesterday. Wanted to introduce myself. Well, it's nice to meet you too, Camden. Camden smiled at you, yet it felt so forced. Well, got a lot of work today. Maverick, see you at 8, alright? Yeah, I won't forget. Camden left the table, drinking all of his coffee in one go before opening the door. Ugh, what a brat. Well, you guys do look a lot alike. You think? Usually people say we don't look like brothers at all. Yeah, by the way, this is for you. Maverick pushed a plate of food in front of you. It's French toast and turkey bacon. Mom made it for you before she went back to sleep. Whoa, this looks amazing. Glad you think so. You took a bite out of the sweet and fluffy French toast. It was exceptionally good. I need to thank Iris next time I see her. You know, I needed to go to the lake today. I was planning on going alone, but if you're up for it, you could come up with me. It'd be nice to have company. You wanted to see the lake anyway. It would be nice to have Maverick guide you there. That sounds good. When do you plan on leaving? Right after I take care of some things with my brother. If you're going to the lake with me, you need to see the sunset there, so I might as well get the stuff with him done and get out of the way. I'll come and get you right after, okay? Okay, sounds good. Then I'll see you soon. Maverick got up and headed out the door, throwing his peel on the dirt outside. Huh. If this town is completely self-sustaining, why do they have bananas? But then again, what do I know about gardening? You finished up your French toast. Think about what to do until Maverick's hike. Stay inside, visit town. I kind of want to visit the town, actually. It will be fun. It'll be fun. Let's visit the town. Iris did say it was only an 8-minute walk away. Yeah, I should check it out. Alright. And here we are. You walked up to the rather small, old-timey looking town. There weren't that many people walking around the town. Almost made it look deserted. Some passers-by looked over at you, whispering things under their breath. I guess I do look a little out of place here. The people whispering started to wave, flashing you big smiles. You awkwardly waved back. They probably saw me looking back at them. Whoops. Maybe there's a cute shop I can visit or something. As you walk further into town, you notice a little store tucked away on the corner. The sign above reads, The Curio Nook. The window display is filled with odd trinkets and strange artifacts. Nothing like the cute souvenirs you had in mind. Well, it's different, I guess. You stepped inside, a soft bell ringing as you creaked the door open. Holy hell, the music's suddenly a lot louder. A shopkeeper looked up at you from the register. Her eyes widened. Her face quickly gave you a friendly smile. Welcome in. Feel free to look around as much as you like. You smiled back at her and nodded. The store was filled with all sorts of random clothes, trinkets, and a strange amount of deer antlers. There's nothing that I really need in here, but maybe it would be nice to get a souvenir. Ooh, definitely. Might as well get something small. A small deer antler pocket knife. Buy some local syrup. Buy a necklace. Why do I feel like I need this? Why do I feel like this is necessary? I'm gonna buy the pocket knife. You picked up a small pocket knife with an antler handle. Take out the blade, you saw various designs and engravings on the knife, only adding to its beauty. You walked up to the register. Just this, please. The shopkeeper shook her head. On the house. I ain't seen you around here before, so think of it as a welcoming gift. You stared at her confused, looking down at the small item in your hand. Are you sure? Positive. Welcome to Sunlit Grove. Well, thank you so much. Before you're about to leave the shop, a familiar face catches your attention. Grace, I need more boxes. Again? At this rate, you and Maverick are going... We ain't gonna have many goats left. You know I'd never let that happen. The shopkeeper lets out an exasperated sigh as she walks all the way to the back of the store. Camden's eyes drift over towards you. Oh, hey. Ain't you the one staying over at our place? Like, Bailey or Vincent or something? It's Lion. Well, never been good with names. So, what brings you to our little town? It ain't exactly a tourist hotspot. My friend recommended it to me. I just needed a nice little relaxing vacation, and this place seemed really quaint. You ain't wrong about that. How long you staying for anyways? Yeah, just 4 days, right before the festival you guys are having. Camden let out a half chuckle. Oh, well. Well, bless your heart. Didn't want to stick around for the festivities? I get it. The Harvest Festival has gotta be the worst of them. What do you mean? Camden shook his head. You ain't gonna be here for it. Nothing for me to warn you about. The shopkeeper returned to the register with 3 big wooden boxes. Finally. Took you long enough. I ain't supplying you no more crap if you're gonna be acting so sour. Why, thank you, kind and generous lady. I'll be forever in your debt for giving me these boxes. You don't need so I can supply the town with packaging to go with their food. The shopkeeper rolled her eyes as she set the boxes down, almost hitting Camden's foot. Camden grabbed the boxes. Well, lad, nice chatting with you, but I best be going. Camden's eyes looked over to the door. Maverick was just helping me a bit ago. The task didn't take too long. I heard him say something about taking you to the lake. Ah, shoot, the lake! Totally forgot. He rushed out the door to town. Alright. I guess I'm running straight to the lake? I guess I am. Welp, I'm in the house. When you walked in, you saw Maverick sitting at the kitchen counter, humming while eating what looked like a blueberry scone. Ah, hey there, Lon. And here I was, thinking you'd forgotten about our little lake trip. Sorry, I was at the store and ran into Camden and just lost track of time. Camden and you were together? What was he getting at the store? And just some boxes. I think they have something to do with goats? Maverick let out a huffed sigh and shook his head. Is something wrong, Maverick? Maverick immediately perked up again as you spoke. Huh? Nah, let's get going, okay? Don't want to lose too much daylight. Alright. Check back later. What do you mean check back later? Okay, would it make any difference if I stayed inside? I guess I could just stay inside until it comes back. I doubt it'll take him long for him to return, and maybe I can get some more sleep. Putting your dirty dishes in the sink, you walked back to your room. You laid down on your bed, staring at the ceiling. God, wish I had my charger. Could have watched one of my downloaded movies. Look for something to do in the room. You looked around the room. There isn't really much in here except for the drawers. You opened them up and find 3 books. There was no cover art, no author, just 3 books with titles. Curiosity yawned at you, unsure if you were even allowed to read them. I doubt they would mind. They probably left them here for me to see. All the books looked fairly long, at least long enough until Maverick got back, but which one to read? Ooh, Summer Night, Sunlit Angel, Cold Breeze. Let's read The Sunlit Angel. You picked up the book, The Sunlit Angel. You laid on your stomach, propping the book up with your pillows. There's a place on a hill. The sunlight hits the peak so effortlessly, causing the flora to light up. Legend says, if you walk up the hill right at sunrise, you'll see the sunlit angel who will grant you one wish. A young, local farmer, lonely, with his crop depleted after a drought, sought out the angel to make a wish. The young farmer walked up the hill all night. Finally, when the sun hit the peak, he got down on his knees. "Angel! Angel! Hear my prayer," he cried. "My crop is gone. The townspeople are far too starved." "Hey, I'm not done!" "My crop is gone. The townspeople are far too starving to help me. I need the soil to be rich again, to bring the fruitfulness of my land." "Is that what you truly seek?" The farmer nodded, and the angel hummed, lowering his head. "Everything comes at a price, young farmer. Name it, and I'll bring it to you. Please, these people are starving." The angel chuckled. "I'm sitting up here only to show myself every sunrise. All I could ever ask is to be part of your town. Then I promise your crops will flourish." The farmer was shocked. "Of course, angel. While we do not have much, we will always have room for your light." Do all of these just have lore about the town? I'm curious about that. What a strange story. You felt like there was really no point to the story. The farmer and the townspeople got their crop, and the angel's light got to touch their land, not only the hill. How boring. "Lion, ready to go?" "Maverick is done helping his brother already?" "Well, that was kind of fast." Opening the door, you were greeted by Maverick's bright smile. "That didn't take you long. What were you doing with Camden?" "Yeah, just helping him move some cattle to slaughter. He's gonna be working on that the rest of the week, so you don't have to worry about seeing him around." You let out a sigh of relief. "Thank you, Maverick. That makes me feel a lot better." "Well, let's get going. We don't want it to get dark." "I swear to God, if it says check in later." "God damn it!" "All right, I guess we'll head off to town." Iris did say it was only an 8-minute walk away, and I probably should grab some dinner over there. You hopped out of bed, rummaging through your bag, and grabbed your wallet. You walked up to a rather small, old-timey looking town. There weren't that many people walking around the town. It almost made it look deserted. Some passersby looked over at you, whispering things under their breath. "I guess I do look a little out of place here." The people whispering started to wave, flashing you big smiles. You awkwardly waved back. They probably saw me look at them. Whoops. There didn't seem to be a lot of options for food, so you settled for the one closest to you. Food and tools. You walked up to the big window where it said to order, and you looked at the menu. The window opened, showing you an old man with a patch over his right eye. "Howdy, what can I get for you?" What would you recommend?" "Well, can't go wrong with a club. How about I ring one up for you?" Yeah, sure. Sounds great." "Be back in a jiff." The man closed the window, and in no time at all, was back with the sandwich, wrapped up in parchment. Pulling out your wallet, the man shook his head. "On the house." No, sir. I couldn't possibly take this for free." "You're not taking it. I'm giving it to you. Hope you enjoy it." The man smiled and waved at you as you walked away. Why is everyone in this town giving me free stuff? I have a bad feeling about that. That was nice. It almost felt too nice. What's the catch? Was there a catch? Maybe the sandwich is known for being bad. You hesitantly took a bite out of the club. The veggies in the sandwich were so fresh, it felt like they were plucked from the garden this morning, and the meat was perfectly seasoned. This is amazing. You found a bench near a little shopping area. You sat down, eating a sandwich, feeling content. This is going to be good for me. A little town, nice people, fresh air. You couldn't think of a more relaxing place to spend your vacation at. You made a mental note to thank Jamie later for her recommendation. You looked across the town, enjoying seeing all the very country aesthetic people walk by. Until one guy spotted you and started walking towards you. You straightened up your posture automatically, unsure why this guy was suddenly walking to you. The man gave you what looked like a forced smile. Hey. His hand looked clammy and his face seemed almost panicked. Hi? You're the person from the city, yeah? You were unsure of what to say. You felt tense in your seat. Yeah. I just got here a little over an hour ago. That's good. That's good. His breathing seemed heavy. You left something. Excuse me. You left something in the car. Grab it. You're not understanding me. The man leaned down closer to your ear. You froze. Go grab your thing that you left in the car, then drive. Might already be too late. The man looked at the clock tower. Shit. Well, I tried. The man shrugged and walked away from you. The hell? I guess there's craziness no matter where you go. You no longer felt at ease, yet you still sat in the same place and finished your club. Your mood was ruined, and you didn't really want to explore the town anyway. Sighing, you threw away the parchment paper and started to head back to the bed and breakfast. Well, that wasn't ominous at all. I don't know what y'all were talking about. You closed the door to your room and checked your phone once again. I'm running a little low on battery. I should probably charge up my phone, even if there's no service here. You rummaged around through your bag. Huh? Where is it? You shook your bag, but your charger was nowhere to be found. Guess I must have left it in my car. You remembered what the man said. A horrid feeling sets over your stomach. You didn't know why you felt so uneasy. I'll just go grab my charger. With my bag. It's still light outside. You stuffed your bag with your stuff and slugged it over your shoulder. Grabbing the map that you threw on the bed, you walked outside. Right, thank God it's still bright out. Back in the corn. You pulled out your map. Huh? Where the hell is the dirt road? What did Maverick say again? Right then and left to get to the house, so left and a right will be back on the road, right? You went down the path, feeling confident about yourself. You were, in fact, unsure. You thought for sure you'd see the dirt road with how many paths you walked on. The minutes turned into hours, and soon the sun set and the moon was high in the sky, and you were completely lost. You shivered. The only thing you could hear for miles was the sound of corn rustling in the breeze. The flashlight on your phone wasn't enough to light the way for you, and the small fireflies kept bumping into your legs and face, making you feel more on edge. The wind was so cold on your face it made you shiver. I'm gonna die out here, aren't I? You sank to the ground, trembling with fear. Tears pricked at the corners of your eyes as your mind raced with what-ifs. Nothing was right now. Why would I even want to go out here? Just for a stupid charger? You hid your face in your knees. Why the hell did I decide to come here? Your brain started to berate and mock you for your stupidity. You could hear rustling. You hugged your legs tighter and froze it in fear. Infernal desire. May the essence I crave come to me in light of the harvest moon. A voice, eerie and sickeningly sweet, pierced the darkness. You didn't know who was there. You didn't want to look up from your knee cocoon, afraid to see something that would further scare you. Huh? Lion? A familiar voice cuts through the wind. You cautiously raised your head. It was Maverick. What are you doing out here on the ground on a night like this? Maverick's voice was laced with concern as he kneeled down to your level, placing his warm lantern near the both of you. Maverick waited for your response silently, but all you could do was slowly move your mouth, unable to even speak. Hey, it's okay. Did you get lost? Maverick's eyes peered into yours, his gaze filled with warmth. You nodded wordlessly, still unable to speak. It could get pretty scary out here at the field, if you don't know your way around. Luckily, you have an expert to lead you back. Maverick gave you a bright smile, clearly trying to lighten the mood. But you still couldn't say anything. He let out a small sigh. Oh man, pretty shaken up, ain't you? We can wait here for a bit till you're ready. Maverick sat down next to you, humming a tune to try and soothe your nerves. Your heart was still racing. You chanted calm down like a mantra in your head. You didn't like the fact that someone was seeing you like this, especially someone you didn't know very well. You know, lad, hanging out with cornstalks can be bad. Maverick leaned closer to your ear and lowered his voice. They're such eavesdroppers, you know? You know what they say. They're all ears. God. We've gone through this conversation before. Like, I'm just gonna skip through this until, like, something's different. Lan, why were you out here by yourself with your bag? Oh, well, I left my charger in my car, so I wanted to get it, but I got lost on the way. Well, next time tell me when you want to go over there. The path is a bit confusing. You sighed and shook your head. It's okay. I don't really need my charger anyway. There's no service here. I hope I don't get lost each time I go out here. Yeah, don't worry about that. I'll accompany you whenever you want to go if you're feeling a little squeamish about the trails. You gave Maverick a smile. Thanks. I'd really appreciate it. Before the two of you knew it, your conversation was cut short when you finally made it back to the house. Maverick led you back to your room, not letting you out of his sight for even a second. You breathed a sigh of relief. You felt a little tired after today's events. You must be exhausted. Maverick knelt down to the heater, turning the small light and heat on. Hope you have a good rest of the night, lad. No more wandering around, okay? Maverick spoke in a hushed, honey-like tone that made your face turn warm. Okay. We'll see you in the morning. Before Maverick shut the door, he switched off the light. You threw on your PJs, popped in some melatonin, and went straight to bed, snuggling yourself up in the plush covers. It is a little cold here. Good thing Maverick turned on the heater for me. And we're just gonna skip through again. This is Camden, my little brother. Twin brother. Well, I'm 5 minutes older. Well, that doesn't make any of us less of twins. You went silent. Camden looked at you. His look was sharp, which contrasted his forced smile. You both stared at each other unblinkingly. Have you two met? Nope. Nice to meet you too, lad. Yeah, nice to meet you too. Well, better be going. Maverick, see you at 8, alright? Yeah, don't worry, I remember. Camden left the table, drinking all of his coffee in one go before opening the door. Not the best of reading people, but I felt some tension there. Well, I kinda didn't meet him yesterday. Maverick scooted his chair closer to you, listening intently. Really? Did something bad happen? Did you say anything weird? Well, he told me I left something in my car and that I should grab it and drive away. It was a little shocking. Maverick took a deep, exasperated breath, and he wondered if you ticked him off. That little... I'm sorry, lad. Camden is a bit of a wacko. He likes to mess with people. Try to scare him. Promise it won't bother you anymore. That made you feel a little better, knowing that you wouldn't have to interact with him anymore. By the way, this is for you. Maverick pushed a plate of food in front of you. It's French toast and turkey bacon. Mom made it for you before she went back to sleep. Whoa, this looks amazing. And I wonder if all of this is going to be the same moving forward. Okay, so it progresses more or less the same, except you don't have the choice to go to town. You do have a choice to read one of the books. So anyway, let's get going. We don't want it to get dark. Maverick opened the door, motioning you to go first. You stepped out of your room, seeing a pretty big sack on the floor. Maverick, what's with the bag? That's the thing I needed to do with the lake. Just Harvest Fest preparations. If you want, you can help me set it up. Sure. I have to warn you though, if you need help lifting things, that might not be the best fit. Maverick threw the bag over his shoulder. Right. I guess we're off to the cornfields. Maverick walked confidently through the corn as you followed. So, how far is the lake? Not too far. If we keep walking like this, should take us only an hour. You try not to groan. An hour walk into the corn? This lake better be worth it. So, lad, what's it like where you're from? Well, I currently live in an apartment, and I live in the city near here. Whoa, the city. I always wondered what it's like being in a place like that. Ma says it's always busy there. You've never been to the city? Nah, been here all my life. Never really felt the need to leave anyway. Everything I need is right here. Really? Never want to travel or visit family outside Sunlit Grove? Maverick shook his head. The only family I have is Ma and Camden. My pa died before Camden and I were born, so not too sure about his family, and traveling seemed like such a hassle. Well, if you ever change your mind, I'd be happy to show you around if you're near the city. Huh. You know, Lon, might just take you up on that offer one day. Your conversation went silent, and time seemed to pass by slowly as you and Maverick walked. Do you know any history about this town? History? Well, this town was settled in 1914. This place actually used to have terrible soil, basically unlivable, but then the land made a miraculous change and we've been self-sustaining ever since. Whoa, that's pretty cool. Yeah, nobody really knows why the land changed, but the townspeople believe... Maverick quickly shut his mouth. What? Well, it's a little embarrassing to say out loud that I don't want you to get the wrong idea about us. Maverick, you've been so kind to me. I'm sure whatever it is couldn't be that bad. Well, the town's pretty religious. Everyone here believes that God answered one of our founders' prayers. Religious? I could kind of guess that it would be stranger if such an old town like this wasn't. That's it? Doesn't seem like anything to be ashamed of. Well, I get that most folks might not believe it, so might seem strange. Actually, that's one of the reasons why we have the Harvest Festival, to thank God for helping us. Oh yeah, the Harvest Festival. I'm actually gonna be missing it for a few days. Shoot, you're gonna be missing it? Man, what terrible luck. Won't be able to see all the decorations I made. The Harvest Festival sounds pretty important to you. Yeah, it really is. Now, I'm the planner for it, so it's a little stressful to make everything perfect, especially without a partner. Why don't you ask your brother for help? Maverick shook his head. Traditionally, the second harvest planner is someone not from your own family, since it promotes unity. But everyone in town is busy, so it's just me. Maverick let out a long sigh. He fidgeted with the hem of his shirt a bit, thinking. Maverick does seem to have a lot on his plate this Harvest Festival. Maybe I could help out at least a little bit. Well, if nobody's helping you, maybe I could. Couldn't help at the actual fest, but the days leading up to it I can help set up. Really? You do that for me? Even on your own vacation? Yeah, it's not really a big deal. I didn't really have any plans here anyway. Maverick stopped in his tracks and pulled you into a tight hug. Aw, well, aren't you just the sweetest? Gosh, this is gonna be the best festival ever with your help. Maverick, you're squeezing my ribs! Whoops, sorry. Maverick released you. I guess you're the new harvest planner. I'll just let you know if I ever need help with anything. The task shouldn't be too difficult. I'll be sure to reward you as well. Your face warmed. Reward? Not to brag, but I made the best sourdough bread in town. Before you leave, I'll make sure to give you a loaf to thank you for helping me. I really need to get my mind out of the gutter. Can't wait to try it. I mean, I would love to try something else, like large, girthy, and maybe a little tart. He's too sweet to ruin. Like, look at that face. Look at that freaking face. Okay, that just makes me want to ruin him more. Right. Where are we going? Hello? Oh, the lake. Nice. We're here. Oh my god. Maverick, this place is gorgeous. The sun touched down on the swaying grass, lighting it up in warm, golden hues. Yeah, it's one of my favorite places to visit on the property. Maverick took a deep breath in and closed his eyes. Do you hear it, Lon? Hear what? The still water, the frogs, the grass swaying. Your eyes can only give you a glimpse, but your ears, they can paint you a picture of every little detail. Look over at Maverick. You took a deep breath in and closed your eyes. There was a rustling of the grass, the croak of a frog, the chirp of a grasshopper. Yeah, this is kinda nice. Lon, look. Where did you come from? Maverick put a finger to his lips. Shh, we don't want to scare him. You stared in marvel at the deer slowly chewing grass, staring you down. I think he's giving me the stink eye. Nah, he's just saying hello. Whoa, what a beauty. You look great on my wall, won't you? You gave Maverick a glare. I'm joking. Don't give me that look. The deer as quickly as it came, scampered away. You scared away with the wall comment! What? Not my fault he makes a great trophy. I take it you're a hunter then. Yeah, haven't been hunting much recently since I have to prepare for the festival and all. Yeah, I'll take you with me one day to show off my tracking skills. I don't think a week is enough to go hunting with the festival and all. Guess you're right. Speaking of the festival, I have the right first job for you. Maverick handed you 2 baskets of dried baby pomegranates. We need to decorate the lake with them. There isn't exactly a way we should do it, as long as all the pomegranates get used. Huh. Do these have any sort of meaning for the festival? Maverick hummed. They mean rebirth. Huh. I guess now I know a new fruit fact. Decorating the place with little dry pomegranates was harder than you thought. It took you and Maverick over an hour to get through 1 basket. By the time you were done, the sun was already starting to set. Huh. Neat. Woo! Finally done. Thank you for your help, Lion. That would have taken me forever if I was by myself. Yeah, don't mention it. You looked around the lake, trying to see the decor you worked so hard on. Whoa. The pomegranates are so small I can barely see any decoration. Yeah, the thing is silly too, but we had to keep up with the tradition. And look! Maverick pointed at the sunset. We stayed long enough to see the sunset. Just when you thought the place couldn't get any more beautiful, it surprised you again. It's so golden. If only I had my phone with me to take a picture. Better start heading back before it gets too dark. Maverick picked up the baskets and gives you a light pat on the shoulder. Thank you for coming with me, Lion. Not just for your help, but for keeping me company. Maverick hesitated for a moment before gently taking your hand. His fingers brushed against yours. Your heart began to race. You wouldn't usually let someone you just met 2 days ago touch you, but something about this felt right. I was a bit worried when you came here. Didn't know what to expect, but really glad you're such a good person, Lion. Don't know how you feel about me yet, but I can honestly say, even having known you for such a short time, I know that you're just an honest, kind-hearted person. Feels amazing to get to know you. Must be the luckiest man alive. You gulped down a large lump in your throat. The warmth of his words felt almost overwhelming. Maverick brought your hand up to his chest. You could feel his heart beating steadily. I can't wait to spend more time with you. Your heart beats loud, almost matching the rhythm of Maverick's. Okay, wait, hang on. I feel like this is important. I get closer. Stepping closer to Maverick, you could feel the tops of your thighs touch together and his breath on your face. His face turned a deep crimson as you put your other hand on his shoulder to pull him even closer. Lon. Maverick gently lifted your head. You've never been this close to his face before. The tiny details you never noticed before became more apparent. There wasn't a spot on his face untouched by freckles. His lips, although dry, were a deep, nude cherry color. And his eyes. You could pinpoint the exact coloring of them. The colors all swirled around, making them look almost like little nebulas. Lon, quit looking at me like that. Sorry, it's just hard not to. Do I look that silly? Gosh, my face must be looking like a tomato right now. No, you're gorgeous. If anyone's gorgeous, that will be you. You're prettier than a peony in spring. Before you could even think, you brought your face up to Maverick's and kissed him. You could almost feel the utter shock from him as his arms dropped and he grabbed your waist, pulling you closer. His embrace was strong, yet warm. It almost felt comforting, if it wasn't for the fact that his kiss felt inexperienced. Maverick pulled away, trying to regain his breath. That was my first kiss. Oh my god, really? I'm so sorry. No, it's okay. I just never kissed anyone before, so I didn't know what to expect. It wasn't bad, was it? You could hear the nervousness in his voice, his blush deepening, spreading all the way to his ears. No, it was perfect. Just caught me by surprise is all. His hand was still resting on your waist, not fully letting you go yet. I couldn't believe that was your first kiss. Yeah, and was with you. Maverick's hand slowly went up and down your waist as he leaned in again. Yeah, we should go. We don't want it to get dark. Maverick quickly lets go, and your body started to miss the warmth as soon as his hands were gone. Maverick started to speed walk out of the lake. Hey, wait for me! You and Maverick walked back to the house in silence. Even though you were walking behind him, you could tell Maverick's face was still red. The backs of his ears were bright red. You didn't know how to feel about taking his first kiss. God, why didn't I ask him beforehand? You wanted to say something to him to break the awkward tension, but no words would leave your mouth. Well, here we are. Yeah. Lana, Maverick, sorry. What were you gonna say? I was gonna say, thank you for taking me out to the lake. I really appreciate it. Thank you as well for, helping me, And for, Dad. Yeah. If you still want to help me set up, I have a few jobs I need to do tomorrow, and it will be helpful to have a hand. Of course, just wake me up whenever you need me. Maverick cleared his throat. Well, good night and all. Maverick turned out the lights before quickly shutting the door. You couldn't blame him for acting a bit awkward. He shared a first kiss with a person he basically just met. Your heart pounded in your chest as you engulfed yourself in your covers. You couldn't tell if this was some sort of starstruck lust or something more. What am I even thinking? I barely know him. For all I know, he could be a murderer or some sort of weird, creepy guy. No matter how much logic you tried to apply to the situation, your brain still didn't want to listen to reason. You didn't know Maverick, but you desperately wanted to. You stared at the black screen that was your phone. If only you had some charge and some service to ask Jamie for advice. Sighing and closing your eyes, you fell asleep, still plagued with questions about what to do with Maverick. Please tell me this continues. Oh, thank God! You woke up back at the lake? How did I get here? You could hear voices in the distance. You ducked under some of the tall grass, trying to listen in without being seen. You'll be okay. You heard a voice. Maverick? I was so worried. But they're nice. You have no idea if any of that is real. But please get out of here, Mav. You know this ain't right. You're right. I don't know if this is real, but if it is, I know what'll happen. I'm not gonna let you die here because you're too stubborn to admit that your gut feelings are wrong. They'll bleed out. They won't. You'll hurt them. Only for a second. Cool off a bit more. The voices fade out. You looked over the long grass, and they were nowhere to be seen. What was that even about? You heard silent rustling in the grass once again. What? And I wake up? I wake up. You could feel someone's hand creeping up your left thigh, its nails digging in and slowly dragging further down, creating big gashes all the way down your calves. It didn't hurt, but you couldn't move or speak to stop it. Whoa! Whoa! Hey! Hey, go away! Ah! I did not expect to be jump scared by Mickey Mouse! What was that? You woke up, breathing heavily and clutching a blanket. What the hell? The hell was that thing? You quickly looked around your room. It was already morning. It was just a dream, Lion. It was just a dream. Lion, breakfast is ready. Thank you, Iris. You tried to shake off the uneasy feeling that was settling in the pit of your stomach. The memory of the dream was so hazy to you, but that thing that was watching you was still so clear. You walk over to the kitchen to be greeted by the smell of fresh pancakes and maple syrup. You could hear someone flipping pancakes in the background that clearly wasn't Iris. Maverick was hunched over the stove, expertly pouring the batter onto the hot skillet and flipping the pancake into the air. I can't give credit for breakfast today. Maverick here was so eager to cook something this morning. Maverick's head turned to you, his face turning a cherry red color. Morning? Well, aren't you starting the day early? Iris chuckled in the background. I have some stuff to take care of in my room. I'll just leave you two for breakfast. Iris patted Maverick on the shoulder before leaving the kitchen. Maverick walked over to the table with a huge stack of pancakes, setting it down in front of you. The pancakes that were laid out all had different styles of color in them. Oh, neat. I didn't know what pancake you liked, so I cooked a bunch of flavors. I think I made blueberries, cinnamon apple, chocolate, raspberry, and regular. There might be a bit more in there. I lost count. You tried to hold it in as best as you could, but you couldn't help but laugh at Maverick's pancakes. What's so funny? You're so sweet. How early did you wake up to make these? That's unimportant. Just eat your breakfast before it gets cold. Grabbing the pancakes that looked appetizing to you, you sat down next to Maverick. Maverick already had a few on his plate. You didn't know if you should talk about what happened last night. Is it even necessary? It was just a kiss, but it was his first. Am I obligated to talk about it first? You didn't want to feel so awkward about it, but the tension was so thick, you could almost cut it with a knife. Maverick was just staring down at his pancakes, scarfing them down, almost like he was avoiding conversation. Before he could even think of something to say, Maverick looked up from his plate and stared straight at you, before wiping away the crumb. Look, I don't want us to be awkward and all. Last night didn't have to be such a weird thing. We can just let a good memory be there, right? Maverick's hand moved to yours on the table, and unconsciously, you grabbed it, his fingers wrapped around your palm. It was fast, too fast. Maverick's feeling for you seemed to almost have developed out of thin air, yet it seemed so sincere, so real to you, you couldn't help but trust it. Maverick gave your hand one last squeeze before standing up and taking the empty plates. If you're still eager to help me, I have some stuff I need to get done in town for the festival. I guess I'll follow you there. Great! Let me grab a few things before we skate out and out of here. Be back in a second. Maverick quickly walked out of the kitchen to his room, slamming and locking the door behind him. Hopefully he doesn't get more pomegranates. Those things were a pain in the ass to decorate with. Maverick comes back with 2 buckets of candles. What's with all the candles? They're for the townsfolk. I'm guessing we had to give out all these candles to people I don't know. Oh, great. They symbolize unity. Each family gets one, and on the day of the festival, everyone lights them and puts them outside their porch. It's a really beautiful sight. Shouldn't take too long, so don't worry if you have something else to do. Maverick reaches into one of the buckets and hands you a candle. His expression softens. Here, take one. It's important that everyone has one, even if you're not staying for the festival. It's a nice memento, right? You take the candle, feeling its smooth surface in your hands. Something about it feels heavier than it should. So, everyone in town gets one of these? Seems like a lot of work to make so many. Well, there ain't much people in town, and everyone pitches in to make the candles. Well, why don't people take them home after they're done making them? Well, traditionally, the planner needs to pass them out. Trust me, if I had it my way, I'd just mail them. But tradition means a lot to us. You shrugged your shoulders, so you grabbed one of the buckets of candles. Whoa, these are pretty heavy. Yeah, don't worry about carrying them. I'll do it. Maverick grabbed 2 buckets in each hand as you opened the door for him. Alright, guess we're going back into town. Woo! Now where to start first? Lion, if you could you grab the list from my pocket? Oh, sure. He took the little piece of paper sticking out of Maverick's front pocket. First family is the Smiths. Ah, the Smiths. They're a lovely bunch. They'll just adore you. Come on this way. Maverick, wait up! How is he that fast with those heavy buckets? You and Maverick started to go door to door, slowly giving away each of the candles. You found it a bit strange how each door you went up to were bombarded with compliments and questions about the city. What's with this town and being so friendly? Maverick puts down the buckets. There were only 2 candles left. Oh man, good thing we're down to our last candle. Those buckets weren't doing my back any favors. So, who's the last on the list? The Johnsons. Perfect. Let's take these candles to Mrs. Johnson and we'll be all done. Walking over to the house, you knocked on the door to be greeted by a very, very old woman. She smiled as she peeked out of her door. Ah, why, Maverick? It's that time of year again, ain't it? It's right, Mrs. Johnson. You handed her the candle. She reached out to take it with her fingerless hands. Your eyes widened on their own. You couldn't stop yourself from letting out a shocked gasp. Lion? Oh my god, I'm sorry, ma'am. I didn't mean to be rude. The old woman let out a soft chuckle. That's quite all right. It's a bit of a shocking sight. The old woman nudged Maverick a little, a mischievous smirk on her face. Let's hope they don't act like that later. All right, Miss Johnson. I won't want to take any more of your time. Mrs. Johnson waved us goodbye as she softly closes her door. Is it Johnson, Johnson, or Johansson? Like, which is it? Don't mind her, Lion. She's a bit of a nut. Yeah, sorry for gasping. It's just, I wonder what happened. Now that I think about it, she isn't the first person I've seen missing a few appendages. Well, we're all done. Thanks for all your help. Really appreciate it. Got any more plans for the rest of the day? Not really. I was just thinking of taking a nap or something along the lines. Well, if you're free, I have one more thing for us to do. Okay. You're not gonna make me haul more candles, are you? Ha! Not this time. But we do need that candle I gave you. Okay. I did leave it back in the kitchen. I left Mom back there too, so don't worry. We want to be close to the house anyway. You're making me nervous. What type of candle activity is this? You'll see. Trust me, it's fun. Maverick grabbed the candles inside, and what looked like a small blanket. He carefully placed the plaid blanket down on the grass next to the barn. Maverick patted a spot next to him on the blanket. Sitting down, he grabbed the candle that was in front of you. Here. Maverick handed you a very small knife. Wait, are we going to carve the candles? Yeah, it's a fun little thing that only the planners do to their candles. That actually does sound fun. Heh, told you. Plus, gives me a chance to spend more time with you other than just doing work. Maverick looked down at his candle, voice growing softer. Figured since you're heading out soon, wanted to make sure we had some time together before things get crazy around here. He looked over at Maverick's candle. The carving was already pretty detailed. It was something that looked like peony. Is there meaning to what you're carving? Just something to have that'll make me think of you when you're gone. You blushed at the memory of Maverick calling you prettier than a peony. Maverick, didn't know you were such a romantic. Maverick gave you a sly smirk. Says the one who took my first kiss. You winced at the comment, red encompassing your whole face. Maybe don't bring up the fact that was your first kiss. Sorry, just wanted to mess with you a bit. What have you been carving? Oh, you look down at your candle covered in small smiley faces and random doodles. It's not as symbolic as yours. Really now? Let me see. Maverick glanced over at your candle. I like it. It's very personalized. Whatever. This is like my first time doing this anyway. As you both continued to carve your candles, the sun began to dip low in the sky, casting a warm golden glow around you. I don't like this glow! Can't believe how quickly the day has gone by. Don't time just have a way of sneaking up on you? He looked up, the warmth in his eyes matching the fading sunlight. A gentle gust of wind brought the scent of freshly coated dew on the grass. So, tomorrow's the last day. Excited to be back? Yeah, I miss home. Kinda. It was nice to get a break from work and all, and this place sure is lovely, but nothing beats the comfort of my own home. Well, it's understandable. You could stay here for a little bit longer. The festival's only a few days away. We wouldn't charge you for staying just a bit longer. That's a nice offer, but I do need to get back to work at some point. Maverick sighed a bit under his breath. I wish there was some way for us to keep in touch, once you're gone. Yeah, there's no cell service here. Do you guys have a mail system? Only inside the town. Not many mailing companies will want to go out this far. Well, if that's the case, I'm sure I'll visit here again at the B&B. Really? So you like it here? Yeah, the townspeople are nice and the location is pretty. I'd stay here again. I'd give your B&B an A+. That means a lot to hear. That you're having a great time, I mean. You shivered a bit. It's getting cold out here. We should probably get inside before we freeze. Maverick opened the door and quickly led you inside. I'll see you in the morning, okay? Since you're leaving soon, don't want to bombard you with work tomorrow, so you can relax if you like. I really don't mind helping. I wasn't sure what my plans were for tomorrow anyway. Well, ain't ya just the sweetest? I'll let you get your rest now. I have a bit more stuff to take care of. Really? At this time of night? I have to go over to the farming area to take care of some animals, but shouldn't be out too long. Well, be safe. Don't worry, I will. Maverick waved goodbye to you before going out the door once more. Yawning, you felt your eyelids get heavy. The activities from today must have wore you out more than you thought. Turning off your light, you get into bed, eager to sleep. Your thoughts were racing with nothing but Maverick. Your eyelids closed as you felt yourself drift off to sleep. There was something near you. Nope, not dealing with this today. Two faces looked down at your face, horribly disfigured. You could hardly see them, but one started mouthing something to you. Leg. Leg? My leg? Your leg? Your leg? Whose leg? Can I have leg? What? Shh. Camden shot his hand to your mouth, holding you down to the bed. You tried to claw at his thigh while screaming, but no sound could get past his grip. Calm down. You'll fucking wake him. There isn't much time. I shouldn't even be helping ya, but we can't keep going on like this. Camden shoved something in your face. It looked like some old busted up painting until you take a closer look. Whoa! You shoved the photo off of you as well as Camden. Why would you show me that? Just when I got that stupid thing out of my head too. You don't find it strange how I have a painting of your own freaking dream? You gave Camden a confused look. Whatever. I don't care. I don't have time. We need to do this quick. Camden shoved a little button in your hands. The hell is this? I have to stay here or he'll be suspicious if I leave. But you run. After you get out that front door, run. Get to the cornfield, take a right, and just run straight through the corn, and you should be able to find your car there. Or at least the pathway back to the highway. Click that button when you feel like you're close, because it closes 5 minutes after you click it. What are you talking about? There's no time. Just go! Do what he says. It wasn't a coincidence. You looked at the painting down at your feet. You didn't know if it was in the heat of the moment, but you just grabbed your stuff and the button that Camden gave you and quickly got out of the room. Camden nodded to you before you left. You didn't stop running. You couldn't. You were riding on autopilot, not even remembering what path Camden told you to take. You didn't know if it was your imagination or something else, but you swore you heard heavy boots chasing you down. Where am I? Tears streamed down your face as your heart pounded. You needed to find your car. What am I going to do? What the hell am I going to do? You could hear something rustling in the bushes. You froze. A deer trotted to where you were, but it was far enough and dark enough where you couldn't make out its features. I need you. That's no normal deer! Your body stood in place. It was like a force was making you stare at the disfigured deer. I'll enjoy you the most, I think, the way your body will bleed, in or on the floor for me. I just can't wait. Sweat came down your brow as you felt your legs regain motion. I'll let you run. I like it when they run. What if I don't? And what if I don't run? What if I want this? I just can't wait anymore. You screamed as the deer ran full speed towards you. The deer started ripping off chunks of your flesh from you, almost like it was trying to peel off your skin. You could feel its teeth sink into your bones as it started to tear at your arms, face, and legs. You kept screaming until your voice became hoarse. It just kept ripping you apart, and just as it started, it was over, and the deer fled off. You were left on the ground, lying in your own juices and giblets. Ending 2. Couldn't wait. Fine, I'ma run! You ran as fast as you could away from the deer. You kept running and running without even once looking back. You didn't want to risk it. Something grabbed you by the arms as you ran past more of the corn. You let out a loud scream as you started to hit whatever was touching you. Let me go! Let me go! Hey! Calm down, it's just me! You didn't know what to believe anymore. You didn't know if Maverick was just another twisted nightmare trying to lure you into a false sense of security. In hysterics, you started to hit Maverick's chest hard as he brought you close, hugging you tight. Stop! He'll kill both of us if we don't run! Shh. It's okay. Maverick brought you down to the ground with him, still holding you tightly. You tried to fight against his strong grip, but it was no use. You kept looking around your surroundings, trying to find signs of the deer. Please, Maverick, it'll kill me! Maverick rubbed your back while you were still firmly sitting in his lap. It's okay. It wasn't there, darling. There's no one here but me. It sure gets scary out at night, yeah? I'm so sorry Camden scared you. Maverick rocked you back and forth in his lap as you kept hyperventilating. It's going to... You have to believe me. I saw it. I won't let it get to you, all right? I promise I'll protect you tonight. Nothing's going to happen to you as long as I'm here. Maverick hugged you close. You felt his breaths, slow and heavy, starting to match it to yours. You felt your heartbeat slow as you looked around the cornfield again. It was just a cornfield, and there weren't any deer. Did I forget to take my meds? The hell even happened? I don't know what's happening anymore. It's all messed up. Why does this place feel so wrong? It ain't wrong. It's Camden who's wrong. I can't believe he got out just to scare you like that. Almost got you hurt. Why did he say those things, though? Why did he have a picture of something I dreamed of? The painting was something he drew himself a while ago. Are you sure it was in your dream? You weren't sure. The dream was so foggy, and you couldn't even remember the painting. All you could remember was the feeling it brought you. I'm sorry I didn't tell you sooner, but my brother, he ain't right in the head. I love him, but sometimes he acts out, gets us in a bit of trouble. He's not a fan of the festival. It's too loud for him. So when it gets close, he, starts trying to scare people into not doing it. But trying to scare you directly, he was completely off his rocker this time. Hearing Maverick's explanation made you feel more at ease. Camden wasn't really making sense. He was just kind of babbling when he came over to you. Where is he now? Bed rest. Mom's taking care of him until he feels better. I promise you, you won't see him anymore as long as you're with me. His hold becomes soft, the warmth of his body calming down any lingering fears that resided in you. Looking over at Maverick's face, you could see the warmth in his eyes. Did he always look so sweet? Being this close to him, you could smell something, a kind of fresh grass and damp lavender. His lips were parted as he stared back at you. The space in between you two was almost non-existent as he kept holding you. Should I let go now? Yeah, let's go back. Can we please go back? Maverick nodded as he helped you up. His hands are holding yours tight. How are you feeling? Better. I don't think I'm scared anymore. That's good. I'm glad. The air around you shifts as Maverick brings up his hand to move some hair out of your face. Before you could even think, you grabbed Maverick, pulling him into a hug. Shocked, Maverick wrapped his arms around you. His embrace was comforting and warm. You found yourself never wanting to let go. I've been wanting to do this for so long, Lion. Do what? To hold you, feel your warmth against mine. You're just too sweet. I wish you could stay longer with me. I'm not ready to say goodbye. Won't you stay with me until the festival? You stayed silent, and Maverick held you tighter. I don't think I can stay any longer, though. I want to stay with you longer too, Maverick. I'll stay for the festival. I'm sure a day more wouldn't be so bad. That makes me happy, Lion. You and Maverick stayed hugged for a while, but you were too exhausted to notice. Okay. I guess it's the day of the festival. Your eyes open as you hear birds chirping outside your walls. Morning, sleepyhead. You jumped, seeing Maverick at the foot of your bed, just watching you. Well, ain't you jumpy? What's wrong? Have a fun night yesterday? What are you doing in my room? You were asleep for some time, so wanted to check on you. Looking over at the clock, you saw the time. 2:45 p.m. Why didn't you wake me? With the day you had yesterday, figured it'd be best to let you sleep in a little longer. Whoa, can't remember the last time I slept for that long. Maverick reached over and playfully ruffled your hair, making your bedhead even messier. Well, whenever you're ready, I have lunch on the table for you. Your cheeks warmed as you remember last night, Maverick holding you close. Thanks, Maverick. Maverick nodded to you before silently shutting the door, letting you get ready. I don't remember getting into bed. Did he bring me here last night? The thought was almost too embarrassing to dwell on. Calm yourself down, Lion. As you got ready, you couldn't help but feel a little bit melancholy. Sure, you were staying for an extra day, but when you leave, there's no way of contacting Maverick until go to the bed and breakfast again. You didn't want to think about how your time with him was almost over. Jamie is going to get a kick out of this. Made you an omelet and sausage. Let me know if you're still hungry. I could whip up more since you didn't get much of a chance to eat earlier today. You took a seat at the table, the smell of freshly cooked food making your stomach grumble. Maverick watched you with a mix of amusement and concern. Is he thinking about last night? You both sat in silence at the table. As you slowly chewed your food, your thoughts keep drifting to last night. Maverick's embrace was so warm, it was almost like his arms were still around you. Putting the fork down, you finally acknowledged Maverick. Maverick, you really helped me out yesterday. I was so freaked out, and you were just right there at the right time. I just don't know how to thank you. Lion. Maverick lightly grabbed your hand, bringing it to his lips to kiss it. I'm more than happy to help you. You weren't yourself last night, and that wasn't your fault. I know, I just don't want you to think I'm some sort of crazy person or someone who freaks out at everything. Maverick held your hand, rubbing the top of it with his thumb. You ain't crazy, and I definitely don't view it that way if that's what you're thinking. It's okay to rely on me, you know. We had become quite close for a short amount of time. His voice was soft, and it was like each word he spoke was dropping your guard more and more. What is this? I barely know him, but why do I just trust him so wholeheartedly? Well, since you're staying here a little longer, why not help me with some decorating? Should be fun. Yeah, the festival's tomorrow, right? Maverick nodded as his foot started to shake. I'm excited that you get to see it. Finishing your food, Maverick grabbed your plate. You sure you don't want anything else? Don't mind cooking more. Nah, it's okay. I'm pretty full from that. Maverick nodded before washing the dish. You felt at ease. It felt like you and Maverick were almost playing house with how nurturing he was being. Maverick held out his arm, like he was waiting for you to take it. Ready to go? Linking arms with him, you nodded your head shyly as he led you into town. Alright, off to town, I guess. The town was a bit more lively as you and Maverick walked around. People started to stop and stare at you too. Their shocked faces turned joyous as when your eyes looked at them. Lion, you wait here. I'm gonna grab some of the decorations, then we can start. Okay, I'll just be here then. Maverick walked off to one of the markets. You stretch your back, waiting for him. People passed by you, their eyes lingering a bit too long. Do I look bad? You look down at your outfit, tried to find any stains. Got him! Maverick walked back to you with a bag of decorations, paper streamers, balloons, and all sorts of colorful objects. Taking out some nails and hammer, Maverick handed you some streamers. I should be tall enough to hammer these on. Could you just hand me decorations? Yeah, of course. As you handed Maverick the decorations, you noticed more and more people gathering nearby, watching the two of you work. You felt like the two of you were almost on display. You sure are quiet, lad. Something on your mind? Nah, just feels like everyone's watching us. Maverick chuckled, but it felt almost strained. They're just excited for the festivities. There's also quite the looker next to me. You shoved the next batch of decorations in Maverick's hands, trying to conceal your heated face. Quiet, you! Looking around again, you saw that the crowd was now gone, leaving the town almost looking completely empty. Huh? Where did everyone go? Maverick hummed as he continued to hit the nails in. Probably getting ready for the ceremony. There's lots of prep everyone has to do in the town after all. Really? What type of prep work? Just getting outfits ready. It's a tradition to bleach your favorite set of clothes for the harvest as a sort of cleansing. That's pretty cool. Do I have to bleach my clothes too? For you, wouldn't say it's required unless you really want to get into the spirit of the festival. In that case, yeah, why not? Maverick stopped putting up the decor for a second as he slowly turned his head to you. Really? His voice was filled with so much joy, almost as if you just accepted some sort of proposal. Yeah, why not? So, I don't think I brought any of my favorite clothes. Yeah, don't mind the specifics of it. Any old clothes would do just fine. Once we're done out here, I'll bring out the bleach for us. You and Maverick made a quick work of decoration, and while it didn't look like much, you still felt a bit of pride after helping so much. Hold on, we'll make a pretty good team. You and Maverick both stood in the middle of the town, admiring your work. It was so quiet and peaceful. The dim golden light of the sun made the whole place light up in warmth. Maverick bit his lip, his gaze falling to the ground as his lips tightened, as though we were grappling with something he wanted to say. The air around you felt heavier, humid and thick, with a tension that seemed to mirror Maverick's expression. You know, lad, yes, Maverick? Where do you see yourself in the future? You let out a heavy sigh. Not sure. Probably still working. Maybe adopt a pet or something in a few years. Maverick chuckled, but it sounded solemn. Do you like your life? Life working in the city and all that? Of course I do. Sure, work isn't always fun, and it can burn me out, but it is my livelihood. I don't think I'd trade it for anything. I see. Maverick's expression softened, but a hint of sadness lingered even as he smiled. What's wrong? Yeah, nothing, just think about things. Come on, let's get you set up for a bleaching. As he walked back together with Maverick's fingers brushed against yours, his voice was very soft now, like he was in mourning. You'd look good in white. I'm excited to see tomorrow. You both continued towards the house, and though the silence was nice, it was tinged with an awkwardness you couldn't quite place. Even as you worked together to bleach your clothes, you couldn't shake the feeling that something weighed on Maverick's mind. Well, Lion. You stirred, still half asleep, when you felt a light touch on your shoulder, then a sudden ticklish poke to your side. Ah! Morning, Lion. You blinked awake to see Maverick, grinning mischievously as he gave your side another gentle poke. Hey, quit that! Laughing, you swatted at his hand. Oh, come on. Don't want to miss the festival, right? All right, I'm up. I made quite a special breakfast for you. Let me get out of your hair so you can get ready here. Maverick handed you your clothes. The color was completely drained out of them, leaving them as a pristine white color. Whoa, that's some strong bleach. Only the best for this occasion. Maverick shot you a smile before he closed your door. Sliding on the clothes, the fabric felt a little bit different, way more light and kind of thin. The bleach must have burned a layer off something. Last day here. I should probably pack my clutter before I get preoccupied with the festival. Folding the clothes, you grabbed your phone off the bedside table. You tried turning it on, only to be met with the no battery sign. I'll just charge it in the car. Tossing it into your bag, you zipped it up and headed into the kitchen to meet Maverick. Maverick sat at the table, something rather large in his hand. As soon as your footsteps entered the kitchen, Maverick shot straight up to greet you. I'm not sure if you'll have flowers or not, but wanted to get you a little something to thank you. Maverick pulled a hefty bouquet of peonies from behind his back, handing it to you gently. The peonies were in full bloom, with shades of cream and light pink contrasting against dark lavender and vibrant green leaves. Oh, Maverick, this bouquet is gorgeous, but I'm worried they'll wilt in my car on the drive back. You noticed Maverick's face tense for a split second before he gently takes back the bouquet. Yeah, don't worry. Maverick unwrapped the arrangement and placed the flowers skillfully into a large wooden vase. The flowers settled in perfectly, as if they were meant to be there. They'll stay right here, soaking up water until you're ready to go, okay? Nodding, you turn your attention to the plate of food on the table. Your jaw dropped. You made this morning? You mean the Quran? Yeah, I made it this morning, freshly baked. Croissant. Croissant? Sure. My ma told me the lot of city folks like them, so want to make some for you. You took a bite out of the croissant. It was so buttery and delicate that it almost melted in your mouth. Oh my god, I'm going to miss the food here. Maverick walked behind your chair, resting his hands on your shoulders as you ate. Though the gesture was unexpected, his touch was comforting. You know, I'm a pretty good cook. And a baker. Maverick's voice thickened with what sounded like sorrow. His fingers trailed up to the top of your head, gliding softly through your hair, each touch feeling hypnotic. Whatever you want, whatever dish, I can make for you. Even if it's some fancy city dish or some kind of ethnic cuisine, I'd learn it for you. I can learn anything for you. I wouldn't even miss a thing. Your head felt fuzzy and light. It was difficult to focus on his words as his gentle head massage lulled you. What was that? Nothing. Finish up, okay? Everyone's waiting for us to start the activities. Maverick sat back down next to you, taking your plate as soon as you were finished. Maverick softly grabbed your hand as he led you out of the kitchen. Well, the town was alive with energy, the streets overflowing with cheerful voices echoing off the buildings. On every corner, groups of people played lively tunes of violins, drums, and tambourines, filling the air with a catchy rhythm. There were people handing out free food. A few children played what looked like almost old-style carnival games, while in the middle, people danced around in a circle to the music. Lad, look! Apple bobbing. Apple bobbing? Haven't seen that game since I was in middle school. Maverick pulled you over to the game. Wait! I'm not sure if I remember how to play! As you dunked your head into the water with Maverick, you couldn't help but laugh at his excitement to play such a childish game. Much to your dismay or delight, Maverick made you play each of the games. Each of the vendors greeted you with cheerful smiles and gratitude for the work you'd done by setting up the festival. Maverick pulled you to the middle of the crowd dancers. Maverick, I'm really not the best dancer. Maybe we should skip this? Oh, come on, that's nuts. Everyone dances at the festival. I don't know. Everyone here looks pretty... Wait, what is that word? Yeah, don't worry about it. Maverick took both your hands in his. I take it you've never line danced before. You shook your head. I'll lead you. Just follow my feet, okay? Okay. Maverick stepped forward with a little bounce at his heels. His movements were so relaxed, yet precise, and you couldn't help but laugh as you tried to match his rhythm. Okay now. First step to the left, then the right, and spin! You stumbled as you attempted to spin while still holding his hands, but Maverick pulled you back close to him. See? You're a natural. After a few rounds, you start to get the hang of it. As you and Maverick start to dance all over the town, onlookers start to clap with your rhythm. Their cheers and whistles only added to your energy. After a while, people start to settle down as you and Maverick sat on the ground, feet hurting a bit from dancing for so long. You make a pretty good dance partner. You ain't so bad yourself, after all that talk about not knowing how to dance. You and Maverick both stared at the sun slowly going down. Maverick's expression turned grim as he stood up. Lon, before the festival is over, I want to talk to you. You quickly stood up with how serious Maverick sounded. Oh, sure? Maverick led you out of the town and back to the house. You could see the townsfolk's eyes almost follow you as you both left the festival. Yeah? Got pretty dark pretty quick. Lon. Maverick clasped both of your hands in his as he kneeled down to the ground. Maverick, what are you... Shh. Please. Don't speak right now. I won't be able to say this later. Lon, I just want you to know Maverick took a deep breath in. You know, I was worried. For a long time, ever since I knew I'd be the planner. Maverick's voice was barely a whisper, and his face twisted, somewhere between fear and resolve. I'm okay with all the things that are gonna happen to me. I can live with that, but you... I didn't know who would be staying here, who I'd be bringing in. I'm just so glad that it's you, Lon. He reached out, almost trembling. You're everything to me. Maverick pulled you close, his arms like steel around you, but something in his grip made you shiver. Maverick, where is this coming from? Maverick's voice cracked, his eyes distant. I'm sorry. Before this starts, I need you to know. I'm so sorry. Before he could even register his words, he threw you to the ground, the impact driving the air from your lungs. He moved quickly, pulling a thick rope from his belt, his face filled with determination. What are you doing? You scrambled back, clawing at the ground, but his boot pinned you down, his weight forcing you flat against the ground. Don't fight. It'll all be over soon. I promise. The pressure increased. A loud snap ran through the air. You screamed, the pain warming your body immediately as tears blurred your vision. Helpless, you felt him tying the rope tightly, his hands trembling. Maverick's voice became a frantic whisper as he knelt beside you, running his hand shakily along your back, oblivious to the agony it caused. Shh, it's okay. You're alright. You're alright. You tried to choke out a plea, but the pain was blinding, your thoughts slipping in and out of focus. You didn't even notice the crowd suddenly caving in on you and Maverick. Maverick's muttering grew louder, frantic, his hand pressing against your hair. Gentle, gentle. A familiar face broke through the crowd, Iris's voice cutting through your screams. Maverick! Look at them! Do you want them dead before the ritual even starts? Maverick looked up, wide-eyed, face pale as he loosened his grip on you. I'm sorry, Ma. I didn't want them to get away. Iris let out an exasperated sigh, taking Maverick by the arm and leading him aside, her voice low and commanding. Tell them it's time. Maverick nodded solemnly, his expression haunted as he knelt down beside you once more. For our ritual to succeed, we must each offer a piece of ourselves, so our god may thrive and let us live. Maverick's voice trembled, his hands reaching out to steady you, as his eyes filled with something beyond fear. Once I give my part, and you give yours, our lives will be bound as one. Lion. He pulled you close, his whole body shaking as he clutched you tightly. You're the only one for me. Maverick's lips pressed against your cheek, and a chill ran down your spine as his words sunk in, your stomach twisting with disgust. You ready? Maverick nodded, his face going pale as he stood. The crowd closed in around him, their once neutral faces turned grim as Iris revealed a cleaver and screwdriver, glinting in the dim light. Silence fell over the onlookers as Maverick knelt before his mother, his body rigid with anticipation. Without hesitation, Iris took the screwdriver and plunged it into his right ear. Maverick's scream tore through the air as he collapsed, writhing in agony. 5 townspeople seized him, pinning him down as Iris flipped the cleaver in her hand and knelt beside her son. The sickening crunch of bone and cartilage sounded as she began to slice through his ear. Blood poured down his neck, his tortured cries echoing through the night. The sound so visceral, it felt like it was rattling your ribs. Maverick's screams were relentless, piercing the air and clawing at your sanity. You tried to look away, but something, a force, a presence, held your gaze, demanding you to watch. Ugh! Iris gripped the last bit of tissue, tearing the ear free from his skull. Blood sprayed across her hand, and Maverick lay there, shivering, his eyes glazed with pain as the crowd stood still. Maverick's gaze drifted to the night sky, his lips moving in barely a whisper. Let my pain suffice as a sacrifice for our continued glory. Praise Algea! The jagged remains of his ear bled profusely, staining his neck, his shirt, in endless streams of red. 2 villagers rushed forward to bandage him, stuffing cotton into what was once his ear, while Maverick winced, pale and disoriented. Gosh, it's strange. Can't even tell what sounds are coming from. Maverick, no more talk! Iris pressed the cleaver into his hand, her gaze unreadable as he took it, fingers trailing over the smooth, cold handle before he turned to you. Lion. Maverick approached slowly, your body trembling as you tried to scream, to move, but the bonds held you tight. Maverick knelt beside you, gently taking a hold of your left leg, dragging you towards the center of the circle. You struggled desperately, but he pressed his boot against your face, holding you firm. I'm so sorry. There's no gentle way to do this, darling. He rubbed your leg softly. The twisted comfort only made you more on edge as you tried to scream for mercy, but with his ear gone, your muffled cries went unheard. Maverick touched the edge of the cleaver. It's gonna take a bit. Cleaver ain't the right tool to cut human bone. The cleaver came down, piercing skin and muscle with sickening precision, nearly reaching the bone on the first strike. Tougher than I thought. Maybe if I... The blood came down again, striking bone. You screamed. You never experienced this amount of agony before. You thought you would have passed out by now from the sheer amount of shock, but your body stayed inhumanly aware. Maverick grimaced as he pulled the cleaver from your thigh bone, his hand shaking as he raised it once more. I should try to finish it quick for you. Blow after blow, the cleaver hacked through muscles and tendons, each blow sending a new wave of pain down as you could feel your thigh start to fall off your hip. Finally, with a sickening crack, your bone gave away, and your leg fell limp, severed completely. You lay there, numb, vision blurring as you desperately wished death would take away the utter agony you felt. Maverick set down the cleaver, his face filled with regret as he leaned over you, stroking your hair in an attempt at comfort. Just mouth the words for me. Maverick lowered his head, his voice soft in your ear. Let my pain suffice as the sacrifice for our continued glory. Praise Algier. Your lips moved in a daze, mimicking his prayer. Ending 4. Easy harvest. Okay, for the last available ending, like we're not supposed to kiss him, we're just gonna step back. Clearing your throat, you took your hand away from his and took a step back. He sure has a way of words, but I barely know this guy. Why is he being all mushy so fast? What's wrong? Maverick, I'm flattered, really, but this... He motioned over to his hand that was holding yours. It's just too much too fast. I'm just saying, I appreciate the heartfelt comments, but they make me a bit uncomfortable. I understand. I'm sorry. Just get a bit emotional sometimes. My mom say it's a big problem of mine. I won't do that again to you. Sorry for making you feel uncomfortable. You sighed, feeling like a bit of an asshole now for shooting him down so quickly. He was only giving me compliments. It's not like he was asking me out or anything. Come on. Better get going. I'll lead you out of here. You nodded, feeling a bit ashamed. I only set a boundary with a guy I just met. I shouldn't feel so bad about doing that. Then, why do I feel so awful? You and Maverick walked back to the house in silence. Even though you were walking behind him, you could tell Maverick was a bit embarrassed. The back of his ears were bright red. You wanted to say something, anything to break the silence, but no words would leave your mouth. We're back home. And back in my bedroom. Sweet. Here we are. Thank you for taking me back. No problem, Lion. I'm sorry again. I'll try not to say those things anymore. It's not that big of a deal. Don't worry about it too much. Well, good night. Maverick turned off your lights before shutting the door. You flopped onto bed, feeling not that great about yourself. God, why do I have to be such an a-hole? Burying your face into your pillows, you tried to forget about Maverick's deflated look. Right. You woke up back at the lake. Huh? How did I get here again? You could hear voices in the distance. You ducked under some tall grass, trying to listen in without being seen. What happened? Why are you telling me it's not working? Ma, it's only been 2 days. Maverick quickly went silent. Are you kidding me? This is your only job. This is all I ask of you. Yeah, you can't even get him to agree to stay? I will, Ma. These things take time. I can't rush it, or they'll get uncomfortable. Well, you better stop rushing, or everyone's blood is in your hands. The voices faded out, and you looked over at the long grass. They are nowhere to be seen. What was that even about? You heard silent rustling in the grass once again. No! No! No, I'm not! I don't want to deal! I'm not here to deal! No! No! God damn it! I said I didn't want to deal! You woke up, breathing heavily, clutching a blanket. The hell was that thing? You quickly looked around your room. It was just a dream, Lion. It was just a dream. You tried to think back to what happened, but your memory was too hazy, and all you could remember was that horrible-looking face. You heard something outside your door. Who's there? Yeah, it's probably nothing. Wanting to reassure yourself, you stepped outside your room to investigate the sound. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Hello? Anyone there? You walked into the kitchen, and near the oven, you saw a person kneeling down. Lion! What are you doing up so early? Is that cobbler? Maverick quickly put the plate of cobbler on the table. So, you like to bake really early in the morning? Yeah. Smells really good in here. What's the occasion? It's actually for breakfast. Please don't let Ma know I cooked. You gave Maverick a confused look. Maverick sighed and grabbed a tray from the sink, handing it to you. The tray was filled with a bunch of raw eggs, still with the shells mixed in with some oatmeal and peaches. Ugh, what is that? Well, Ma, she keeps forgetting things. I don't mind helping her and all, but cooking was one of her favorite things to do. She eventually forgot how to do that too, but would have just broken her heart if she knew, so I'll wake up early to redo breakfast. You looked down at the tray again, so Oh, so it was Maverick making these breakfasts. Whoa, Maverick. That's actually really sweet of you. I mean, waking up this early just to do all that for her. It's nothing. She's mama. She's always been taking care of me her whole life. Family takes care of family, you know? Must be hard. I'm sorry about your mom's memory. Maverick fell silent, looking at the finished dish. Ma's got enough on her mind as this, so let's keep quiet about this interaction, okay? Okay, it'll be our little secret. Thanks, Lion. You side-eyed the cobbler on the table. The cinnamon and peaches smelled heavenly. You want some? Maybe. Hasn't really cooled off yet. I just saw you taking a bite. Hey, the cook is allowed to try their creations, no matter the temp. Maverick grabbed a big wooden spoon and scooped out a generous portion of cobbler, placing it on a plate and handing it to you. Well, go on. Tell me what you think. You took a bite of the cobbler, the hot peaches mixed with sugar, forming a cinnamon syrup, while the pastry on top was perfectly crispy and sweet. Whoa, where'd you learn to make a good cobbler? It's a family secret. Damn, might come back to this bed and breakfast just for this cobbler. Damn. Hey, save me some. You and Maverick both start picking at the cobbler, slowly eating it bit by bit. The awkwardness that plagued your mind from last night is long gone, just like the cobbler. Right. You could hear birds chirping. What? Why am I in the kitchen? You got up off the ground and you saw Maverick laying down next to you, fast asleep. You gently shook his shoulder to wake him. Maverick, what happened? Huh? Oh! Did we, fall asleep after eating that? Maverick pointed to the empty tray. No way we ate all that cobbler. Can't believe we actually fell asleep in the kitchen after eating a whole tray of cobbler. We should be ashamed. I don't know. It's a bit impressive if you ask me. It was pretty early. Yeah, but passing out on the floor? Was there something in it? Maverick raised an eyebrow. We both fell asleep, Lion. Uh-huh. Well, next time, warn me before your dessert doubles as melatonin. You really think you'll be brave enough for round 2? I could probably handle another cobbler coma. Maverick chuckled as he got off the floor. Ah, shoot. Maverick looked at the clock. Guess we slept longer than I thought. Need to start heading into town. If you're still eager to help me, I have some stuff I need to do in town for the festival, and we're just gonna skip right through, and most of this is more or less the same. Is there a meaning to what you're carving? Well, always loved what peony symbolized. Romance, matrimony, honor, happiness. It's just such a pretty little delicate thing. What have you been carving? Oh, you look down at your candle, covered in small smiley faces and random doodles. I'm just gonna skip through. I'm a little curious though. What if I said no, I don't miss home? I'm not really too thrilled with the idea of going back to work. Well, that's understandable. You could stay here for a bit longer. The festival's only a few days away. We wouldn't charge you for staying just a bit longer. That's a nice offer, but I do need to get back to work at some point. Maverick sighed a bit under his breath. I wish there was a way for us to keep in touch, you know. Once you're gone. Okay, I know. Let's skip right through. And this time, let's yell for Maverick. Maverick! Help! Help, please! Yell for Maverick! Maverick! The hell are you doing? Before Camden could try to run out the door, you hear Boots running over and slamming your door open. Maverick stood, blocking Camden from running out. Well, ain't this a surprise? Oh God, the look in his eyes! The color drained from Camden's face as he looked up at Maverick. Maverick, you ain't supposed to be out of bed, Camden. Why does Maverick look? What? Weird. Sorry, Lion. My brother ain't in his right mind. Ain't that right, Camden? Maverick stood in silence near the door until Camden reluctantly followed him. I'll come check on you later, Lion. Sorry for the trouble. Maverick closed the door silently before taking his brother away. Your stomach was in knots. You didn't feel safe at all. Your mind was screaming at you to run away. Before you could even stop yourself, you ran out of your room and into the kitchen. Maverick was nowhere to be seen. The hell? Where am I? Tears streamed down your face as your heart pounded. You needed to find your car. What am I going to do? What the hell am I going to do? You could hear something rustling in the bushes. You froze. Oh no, not that deer! The deer trotted to where you were, but was far enough and dark enough where you couldn't make out his features. I need you. Your body stood in place. It was like a force was making you stare at the disfigured deer. I feel like all of this is more or less the same, so we're just gonna skip ahead. Okay, I do want to see what happens if I say I want to stay with you, because, okay, as long as you didn't kiss Maverick, okay, you do have a choice to say, no, you shouldn't stay here. But I'm gonna say I want to stay with you. Okay, let's stay a bit longer. You won't get cold, right? Shaking your head, you press deeper into Maverick's chest. Maverick. Your voice came out in a whisper as you held him tight. Maverick's eyes widened in shock, and you could hear his heart pound in his chest. Yeah? I don't think I'm scared anymore. Your hands find their way to his chest, resting on top. You could feel his breath rise and fall. That's good. I'm so glad. The air around you shifts as Maverick brings up his hand to move some hair out of your face, but his touch lingered a bit longer. You both freeze for a second, as if realizing where this is heading. The atmosphere was thick with tension, not from fear anymore, but from something just as exciting. Before you can say anything, Maverick's head dips down as his lips brush against yours. You tilt your head up, closing the space in between. His hands slide up your back and under your shirt as the kiss deepens. The fear that once gripped you so tightly earlier was long forgotten and replaced by thoughts of Maverick's heated hands. He pulls away as he slowly starts traveling his kisses down your neck. You lean back as you try to contain yourself from letting out an embarrassing noise. Hold on. Maverick stops to take off his shirt before placing it on the ground, before slowly laying you down on top of it. The fabric felt so thick under you. Ow! I should have picked this earlier! Better? You slowly nodded as you looked at Maverick, completely shirtless. Won't you get cold? Maybe. Why? Would it warm me up? Your breath hitched before you grabbed him by the waist, pulling his body completely on top of you, until you feel something hard hit you. Wait, what's that? Was that something hard? What could it be? Sorry. Got a bit excited. I've been wanting to do this for so long, Lion. Do what? To hold you. Feel your warmth against mine. To see what you look like in my arms. Maverick's hand came up to your face as he gently caressed your neck, making you shiver and squirm under his thick plaid shirt. The stars reflected off his eyes, making them look like small galaxies. You didn't know what to say. You were worried that if you said anything, it would ruin the moment you two were having. Do you feel the same way? Maverick's voice was honey-sweet as his hand traveled to your shoulder, rubbing it, his nails going up and down, lightly over your skin. He waited for your answer. Yeah, I do. Maverick smiled at you, leaning his face closer to yours, his breath hot on your skin. I'm so happy, Lion. Maverick slowly kissed all over your face. Without warning, he wrapped you up in his arms tenderly. You could feel him put a bit of his weight on you, trapping you just enough to where you didn't feel suffocated. He nestled his head into the crook of your neck. I love you. Did you say you loved him? Was that what you agreed to? You didn't know. Your mind couldn't register coherent, logical thoughts at the moment. I love you so much. Maverick kissed your ear, causing your neck to heat up even more. I need more of you. Our time is almost up. Won't you stay with me until after the festival? You stayed silent, and Maverick held you tighter. I want to stay with you longer too, Maverick. I'll stay for the festival. I'm sure just a day more wouldn't be too bad. That makes me happy, Lion. Maverick's hands traveled down, tracing your body as he went. He looked back up at you, waiting for you to ask him to continue. Is this all right? You nodded eagerly, awaiting his touch. You didn't know how long it went on for last night. Maverick's body was so warm and comforting that it almost felt like a drug. Wait, what? Hey, no way. Does this continue down that route? Oh, no. Okay, so saying I want to stay with you locks you into that ending. It locks you into the same ending as we got before. So instead, we're going to say, yeah, let's go back and skip all the way through. And now we get a choice to say no. And this is where we get an alternate ending. I can't. Maverick, this place already isn't making me feel comfortable. And I have work. I can't stay any longer. But Camden's gone. I've been doing everything right. Everything. Maverick's grip grew tighter as he started to hyperventilate. You know how stressful this has been for me? I've been catering to you. I tried charming, but you just don't even care. It's like I can't get through to you. Maverick, what are you even saying? Ma was right. She's always right. I should have just done it like we've always done it. Before he could even react, Maverick has put his hands around your neck, squeezing hard. You couldn't scream. No air was able to enter or come out of you. You desperately tried to claw him off, but he was just way too strong. I don't think this is any good. Oh, God, no! Huh? Where am I? You woke up in a bed of hay, your fingers brushing against your sore neck, feeling the bruises swelling on your neck. Looking around, a horrible feeling started to set in. Oh, God. You staggered to your feet and rushed towards the two heavy oak doors, desperately trying to pry them open. Also, I'm not gonna zoom into this, but I can clearly see those eyes staring at me. Help! Let me out of here! Hey! No matter how hard you pushed, the doors don't budge. They feel like they were made of solid stone, immovable. With each failed attempt, your panic grew. After what seemed like an eternity of trying, you slumped to the cold, dusty floor, shaking. What's going on? I was just with Maverick a second ago. Maverick. He tried to kill me because I said I wanted to leave. Your situation became all the more clear. You didn't know why Maverick choked you, but you suspected he was coming back here to finish the job. I have to get up. If I do nothing, I'll die. Your legs wobbled as you forced yourself to stand, scanning the dim room for any possible escape. Is there no light switch in here? Looking around in the hay, you found your bag of stuff. My phone! You pulled it out, but as soon as you pressed the power button, the screen remained black. None of this stuff is useful. You searched through your clothes, trying to find something that could be somewhat useful. Perfect! You grabbed your lighter at the bottom of the bag, as well as the candle Maverick gave to you. Please still have some fluid left. Pushing down the lighter a few more times, some sparks started to fly, finally lighting the candle. I don't like this. Finally some light in here. Holding the candle up to the room, you saw all sorts of paintings and drawings of what looked like a demon. What is this place? Your fingers traced the carvings on the wall, rough under your touch. They weren't just random etchings, they were prayers. Prayers. Many of the prayers were saying stuff about bountiful harvests and strength in tough times, but a few caught your eye in particular. Please give me the strength to take my lovely Iris's arm, Harvey. Please let my son have a speedy recovery after the harvest, Iris. Please give me the strength to lose my eye for the town, Steve. Please let my partner be sweet to me after the harvest, Maverick. Oh, what is all this? Your eyes widened as you heard a knock on the door. You put your back against the wall, holding the candle as your only form of defense. I hear you, Lion. So you're finally up. That's good. I was wondering if I hurt you too much. Maverick, why the hell did you lock me in here? I'm doing what I should have done beforehand. I was trying to be kind to you, but we have the rest of our lives to learn how to love each other after this. What are you even talking about? Maverick, let me out of here. I promise. I won't tell a soul. Please. I don't want to die in here. You could hear Maverick huff from the other side of the cellar door. Fuck. You really got the wrong idea, you know? You ain't gonna die. You're actually gonna be doing something noble. I can't tell you until tomorrow, but nothing bad's gonna happen to you, okay? I promise. But you choked me. You've already hurt me, Maverick. You screamed at the door. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I just needed to get you to sleep. I've said way too much already. Get some rest before tomorrow. You'll need it. Maverick! Maverick! Looking around the room again, you felt hopeless. There weren't any openings that were big enough for you to get through. You laid down on the bed of hay once again, tears welling up in your eyes as you drifted to sleep. You awoke to the sound of happy music playing, the morning sun barely seeping into the dark cellar. You could hear cheerful voices and dancing outside. Running over to the door, you start banging on it again, hoping to grab someone's attention. Hey! Help! I'm trapped in here! Whoa! Looks like Maverick has to marry a screamer! The realization dawned on you that no one was going to help you. Everyone seemed to be in on the fact that you're trapped in the cellar. Please! Help me. Your voice cracked, the loss of your strength fading as you pressed your forehead against the door. The joyful music from outside still filled the air, clashing horribly with your growing fear. The laughter, the clapping, it felt cruel, like the whole town was mocking you. As the minutes dragged on, you crawled back to the hay, your body shaking. The music outside continued as you closed your eyes, trying to drown it out. You woke up still laying on the soft hay. You could still hear people outside, yet there was no cheerful music. But before you could even gather your thoughts, the heavy cellar door creaked open, and the cold rush of air hits your face. What? Before you could react, rough hands grabbed you. 4 men stormed into the cellar, their grips firm as they yanked you to your feet. You thrashed, kicking wildly, your heart pounding in your chest. You fought against them with everything you had. What are you doing? Let me go! Hold him still! One grabbed you from behind and slammed you into the ground. You could hear your ribs cracking under the hardwood floor. You let out a pained yell as the men got on top of you, restraining your hands and feet and gagging you with a cloth. You twisted. You could feel the rope painfully digging into your flesh. The men looked up at each other, satisfied with their work, as they dragged you out of the cellar. Oh, thank God! Everyone was outside of the house, standing in a crowd. The men threw them on the grass in front of everyone. Maverick pushed past everyone and kneeled down to your level. Lad, I'm sorry about the roughness. I'll take that off of you. Don't you worry. But before that, I have something to say to you. You could hear cheers in the background as Maverick grabbed something from his pocket. Lyle. He placed a peony in front of you. Golly, it's just not how I envisioned my wedding. Wedding? In order for our ritual to work, we need to give a piece of ourselves so our God can thrive and let us live. Once I give up my piece and you give up yours, our two paths will collide. We'll be one. Lion. Maverick pulled you into a hug, and you could feel his body shake. You're the only one for me. Maverick kissed your cheek, and you felt disgusted. You ready? Maverick nodded before standing up. The crowd of people surrounded him as he looked up to the sky. Let the harvest begin! People's faces turned somber as Iris brought out a cleaver and a screwdriver. Maverick kneeled to the ground in front of his mom before she took the screwdriver and jammed it into his right ear, causing Maverick to wail out in pain and fall over, 5 of the townspeople held him down as Iris flipped the knife around and kneeled down to her son. Stabbing the ear into his bone or cartilage, she started to rip through his ear. You could hear the bone break as blood started to spew and drip down from his eardrum. Maverick's screams were so violent, it almost felt like they were shaking your ribs. You were mortified. Trying to look away was useless. It was almost like a presence was making you watch. Iris tugged on the remaining bit of ear, breaking it off from Maverick's skull, making him completely deaf in one ear. Maverick shook on the floor in pain, rolling around with tears in his eyes, making quite the pathetic display. He was shocked that he didn't pass out due to the sheer horror of it. After a while, Maverick remained still as he got off the ground. He felt nauseous as he looked at Maverick's earless right side, that he was gushing out blood. Maverick looked to the sky as his eyes welled with tears. Let this pain suffice as a sacrifice for our continued glory. Praise Algea. Maverick's voice came out in pained whispers. The remains of his ear were jagged, the blood on it never drying because of its endless flow. A few townspeople came to Maverick's aid as they bandaged up his ear, tried to stop the bleeding. Maverick winced out in pain as he shoved cotton in what was once his ear. Gosh, Maverick looked painfully confused as he looked around. It's just hard to pinpoint where sounds are. Maverick, there's no time for talk. Iris handed Maverick what looked like a meat cleaver. Maverick took the cleaver, feeling the smooth handle before he turned to you. Lion. Maverick slowly walked over to you. You tried to scream and inch away, but with how bound you were, it seemed impossible. Maverick kneeled near you and carefully took your left leg and started to drag you into the middle of the crowd. You thrashed around as he did before Maverick placed his boot onto your face, keeping you still. I'm sorry. There's no way I can do this sweetly to you. Just think happy thoughts. Maverick rubbed your leg slowly. You tried to beg for mercy, but it was no use. He couldn't even hear your muffled pleas with his right ear gone. He touched the sharp side of the cleaver. This might take a while. It's hard to cut human bone with a meat cleaver. Maverick brought the cleaver down as it broke through the first layer of skin and fat, almost hitting the bone the first time. Whoa, this is tougher than I thought. I think if I just... Maverick brought it down once more as it hit the bone. He let out a loud scream that could be heard through your gag. The pure agony you felt couldn't even be put to thoughts. Your mind was blank, only thinking of pain. Maverick brought the cleaver up again, having a bit of trouble with it since it was stuck to the bone of your thigh. I'm sorry. Should have made this quicker for you. Maverick started hacking your leg each time he cut you. You could feel the tendons and muscles disconnect. With one final heavy cut, your bone was completely off. You laid there, emotionless as your nub of a leg bled out. You felt lightheaded as you looked down to where your leg once was, way completely severed from you. Maverick placed down his cleaver as he started to rub your head, trying to give you some comfort. Just move your lips for me. Maverick moved down to your ear and started to whisper a prayer. Let the pain suffice as the sacrifices for our continued glory. Praise Algea. Mouthing the prayer softly, Maverick patched you up. Ending 3. What a beautiful harvest. So that was Sunlit Grove. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys do want to play this for yourselves, link to the game will be in the description below. And that was gory as hell. I mean, like, most of the gore wasn't actually shown through CGs, thank God. But like, it seriously scared me at times, like especially like the jump scares and all. But I'm hoping that we'll actually get an ending where we can actually escape the guy in the next update. Because like, Jesus Christ, this is just gruesome. Like, holy hell. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all have a lovely rest of the day. And as always, I'll be seeing you in the next video. This is Lion, signing off. Ciao.